Hey everyone, in this video we're going to dive into Substance and we're going to create a ring texture, or actually two of them. So let me show you. I use them for the fire projectile. You can see there's some cast, and then on impact there's this ring as well. So let's take a closer look. I'm going to go to my Niagara system. It's going to isolate the ring. So that's for the cast. And also I've got one for the impact as well, just to get this shockwave effect from those textures. I exported two, as you can see here, one with a bit more glow on the edges and the other one with much less glow, just to test which one's gonna work better. Alright, so that's what we're gonna work on in this video. So let's jump into Substance. Okay, so this is the final texture. This is what we're gonna try to replicate. And what I've got here, obviously this is colored. I export this into the engine. Also I've got the opacity slider if I want it without that glow. So let's get into empty space and let's try to recreate it. I'm gonna start with shape. I'm gonna pick a disk. Oops. I'm gonna copy and paste to have both of those, and I'm gonna actually blend them together using the subtract node. There it is, and I'm gonna scale down one of those. Okay, maybe that one. Okay, and a bit that one as well, just so I can have space here and use it for probably slope or something else. Alright, so once I got this, I'm gonna blend it again because I would like to add some noise to it. So I'm gonna use a Cloud 2, and with the default settings I'm just gonna go here and multiply it. Cool. Next, let's get slope and shape as well, so we can get this soft circle and use it as our slope. Increase the samples. You can go with the default settings. I'm just gonna scale it down slightly so I can get maybe something like this, or actually let's maybe increase it even. Okay, and now I'm gonna grab this transformation, plug it back in. However, let me just double click on this, click once on the transformation. I'm going to hold Alt and Shift and scale it down slightly. Okay, so I can get rid of that harsh edge at the end. Perfect. And once I have this, I'm going to use blend, and I'm maybe going to go to my noise here. I'm going to run it through levels just to add a bit more contrast to it. Something like this. I'm gonna blur it. I'm gonna try default settings and see if that's gonna give me results I want. And in here, I'm just gonna maybe add subtract or maybe multiply. I think multiply works best, so I'm gonna stick with it. Okay, next I would like to extract some shapes from it. So I'm gonna use histogram scan and use contrast as well to extract those shapes, and now scale it back down slightly. And next I'm just gonna blend it back in that texture. Then I'm gonna use add here, and I can manipulate opacity now, but I think I need to invert that. Okay, so now I control the highlights, so maybe something like this could work. Okay, next I'm gonna use another blend. Sorry, not blend, slope. And I'm gonna get a shape again with the soft circle but I will be scaling this down slightly. Okay, and here I'm just gonna scale this down maybe around where the edge is here. Like this. And let's play with the intensity now, because I just want this slightly. Sorry, I just need a slight intensity. There, play with the samples, but I think max is gonna work best. Next, let's try to get a bit more halo around it, but as a separate map. So I'm gonna get a radial blur. We're gonna disable tiling on this node. Okay, and I think I need to blur this slightly. Okay, get rid of the intensity because that's too much. Okay, so I think something like this with a couple breaks here and there, I think that's gonna work pretty cool. That's gonna work pretty good for me, so let's stick with it. And next, let's maybe get this, run it through histogram scan, just to maybe get rid of some of the data. Okay, scale it down a bit. We're gonna end up with this. I'm gonna radial blur it again. Again, get rid of the tiling. Increase the samples, angles, maybe up a little bit this time. And I'm gonna blur this one a little bit as well, just to get rid of that harsh edge. Okay, so maybe later we can add this to it, but for now maybe let's focus on that radial and this texture as well. I'm gonna run it through blur so we can have a nice base without the harsh line here. And now maybe let's try to use another slope. I'm gonna get that shape, copy and paste it here, blend it back in, but this time I'm gonna actually scale it to the maximum, use the samples, and I'm gonna stop right before we actually gonna get to this hard edge. Okay, how about minus intensity? So minus 50 maybe. Okay, that could work. Okay, so let's have something like this. And we got our one halo here, another one here just in case. It would be nice to have maybe some sort of a noise, which is gonna have I think a bit more intense shapes rather than blurry shapes that we have in all those textures. Okay, so let's see if we can maybe use that noise that we have here. I'm gonna use transformation. I'm gonna scale it slightly, maybe 300%, and use the shape mapper with the radius 0, max width, and maybe pattern amount. I'm gonna get maybe let's go maybe with 2. I'm gonna use blend because I want to extract that shape. I'm gonna copy and paste this shape that I've got right there. I'm gonna maximize the scale, and I'm just gonna multiply this. As you can see, I got rid of the hard edges at the end. Okay, so let's have this. I'm gonna blur this a little bit. That's too much, maybe just a bit here. And I'm gonna use a multi-directional warp grayscale. I love that node, it gives me really good results sometimes, so let's see if it's gonna work. Here, and I'm gonna get this halo I've got there. Okay, and let's get 100 intensity maybe. So as you can see, it gives me really nice, cool shapes here, even with without changing any mode. So I'm just gonna keep that one and see if I can blend it back in with this. I'm gonna try different settings, but I think max gonna works the best. Min, maybe add. I mean, add works okay, I think. Okay. I think I need to change the order, because I'm not sure if I want that much of those shapes. Okay, something like this. Let's see if we can blend this halo that we've got here into that texture. I'm going to use add, but that's overblown, I think. I'm going to use max with the controls here as well. Okay, so this could work, I think. Let me see if... Okay, I quite like this one as well. So let me blend this just as an extension. Okay, I'm gonna bring that node here. Okay, let's try a couple things. I'm gonna blend this and I'm gonna use multiply. So that could be nice halo if you want this. Let me try the opacity so we can bring this a little bit back. Okay, quite like this shape, maybe 0.7 here. I'm gonna run it through auto levels to normalize it. So as you can see, it gets a little bit brighter. Let's see if I can run it through gradient map to get some colors. Here I'm gonna pick, oops. Here I'm gonna pick red. Here is going to be orange to get this fiery look. Okay. And last, I'm gonna use glow just to bring this orange color into the texture. Okay, let's go back to the gradient map, to the colors. I'm gonna darken that one a little bit so we can get a bit more of this orange pop in. Okay, so that's how it could look in the game engine, I think. So I'm quite happy with it. I think maybe we could get this multi-directional warp grayscale and blur it a little bit, because I think it might be a little bit too hard edges there. Okay, and now we can control the intensity while looking at our results. So I think that looks a bit softer now, and we can always come back to this blend and decide how much of this we want. We've got another blend here in case we want to get rid of some of the halo or add it. So I think you got pretty cool controls there. Depends what you are after. I mean, this texture really works well for me when it comes to any shockwaves for that fire projectile, especially with the cast and impact as well. Right, so I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned maybe a new technique, especially here maybe with this multi-directional warp grayscale, because there's a bunch of cool shapes that you could use. Run it through blur, so you got nice ramps on that grayscale, and once you add colors and glow to it, I think it looks pretty cool. Right, thank you so much.